And good evening to you all. Welcome back to some more ALR action here tonight on Cloud 9 with the round 9 in Vietnam. The parking lot Grand Prix is up next. And whereas this race has not, or the track hasn't been raced in real life, we will race there today. Probably for the last time in Aero League racing, and probably in all of League racing. We will not probably see this track a lot anymore, but here it is, the Hanoi Street Circuit in Vietnam. Track difficulty medium. Test the game. That's a lie. It is a very hard track with low surface grip. Plenty of overtaking spots, yes, but especially the first corners and the parking lot section and the twisty turny section before coming around the last corner are very tricky to get right. Of course, the big straight after the kinda roundabout thing right at the beginning of the second sector is probably the best overtaking opportunity here today. Hey, sup Terminator. Hopefully I'll bring you luck in your race tonight. Good luck, sir, with Vietnam. So who we got here tonight? The usuals: Denja, Reaper Dude, John James, Zab, Dublade, Steven, Allo, SJ, I believe I haven't seen him for a while, Fontenau, Sabetti, Slimmy is back again, Camidget, our championship leader in Apex Turbo, Nichols, Romp, Pervisage, and yours truly. My name is alluPallu and I will be commentating here today. So let's have a look at the standings really quick before we set out. So as I mentioned before, Apex Turbo leading the championship, the only driver to win more than once, with 3 times and 107 points, only 2 points ahead of Denja in the Williams and 3 ahead of Fontenau, so very tight at the top. After that it's Zab with a strong podium finish last time out, followed by Slimmy, Sabetti, Reaper Dude, Romp, Camidget, Dynamo, Dublade, Goey Igin, and the rest. "16 drivers around the Vietnam track today, not too bad. I believe due to the league being almost completely Dutch, the football games, the Euro games, were probably the reason of some of our drivers of the Thursday tiers being absent. Tier 2 started with 12 drivers, for example, so not the same kind of issue here in the tier 5. And as I said last time out with the tier 5 guys, anything can happen, so it's probably gonna be a wild race, this one. Especially with the walls lurking so close by. And Vietnam, as I mentioned before, being probably the track with the lowest amount of surface grip. They probably tried to simulate it not being raced ever, nor it will be as of yet, at least, and it would seem like it will be a dry qualifying. Always nice to see rain in Vietnam with the Tier 5 would be utter madness. Thank you, Dublade. So Dublade just confirmed me it will be dry sessions all round, as the first car around the track seems to be a Williams of Denja. The second position driver in the Drivers' Championship sets out first to get on the grips with the Vietnam Street Circuit, the parking lot Grand Prix. Get the all necessary info so we can see it as we follow Denja around the very concrete Hanoi Street Circuit, which at parts, to me at least, it brings to my mind the Valencia Grand Prix F1 used to race on in the early 2010s. It was also very narrow at times with plenty of runoff area. It saddens me to know that it's completely overgrown and not in any usage these days, but that's the way it is. Funding runs dry and the track will remain unused. Oh, and there's a 5-place grid penalty for Fonternau. He gets it by colliding with SJ in the Renault, so that will set him back before the first laps are even set. But now we will focus on Denja, as he can give us a little tour around the track, as there is a Ferrari off after the hairpin. Nevertheless, coming into turn 1, very hard braking zone as displayed by Denja here, locking up the left front. Then to the first roundabout. Really tricky and very slippery, you cannot get the power down. Then the left and right kinks to the first DRS straight. First DRS straight, not maybe an overtaking opportunity. After that the chicane, Denja being really cautious with the curbs. Now trying to get the best exit possible from the second roundabout to the very long back straight. Definitely an overtaking spot, as the DRS and ERS will assist our drivers here today with their overtaking. Yet again a very hard braking zone, going to the first gear even and trying to get the power down as smoothly as possible, concluding the second sector and then going to the very kinky part in third sector. Plenty of left and right swiveling, not very easy to do as displayed by Denja, scraping the walls a little bit and invalidating his lap in the process, unfortunately, and head straight to the pits, probably for repairs. Next car round will be the Red Bull of Reaper dude in the medium tire. Let's see, he will be the one to set the bar. And we'll let me show the last corner. It's a treacherous one. You cannot take it flat on the fifth gear unless you will end up into the wall if you do that. And Reaper dude with a 1:37.2 is the time to beat, as our drivers are pouring into the pits, apart from Sabetti, I believe, on the soft compound tire, is making his way to the last corner, already out of battery. A tight line through there, and it's a 1:36.3, our new provisional pole time, as our drivers seem to be pouring into the pits, not really getting their first runs right, and having to pit as a consequence. Steven follows suit. Cam is invalid, but he's just starting a lap, so let's follow him. So yeah, not exactly the easiest track here today. Boardmaster says this is a medium difficulty track, but I beg to differ. It's a very difficult track. Cam really close to the outside wall there in the left-hand kink. Goes fastest on the first sector. Let's see if we'll be able to continue that pace. You can really take a good half a second off your time in the second roundabout. The chicane before entering is broken. Just if the outside tire clips the sausage curb on the inside, you'll probably get away without an invalidation or a warning. Nobody really utilizing it here early, but that's the reason, dare I say, Rossi beat me to the win on Thursday in Tier 2. Very happy with second place though. As Cam Midget invalidates going to the third sector, and we'll have to choose another car to follow. A lot of action here. Purvis Sage is invalid. There's been an Alpha Tauri of ALO off in the hairpin. Nice camera angle. A bit further away. He might have made way for Nichols, who was on an outlap, but still. Let's see Purvis Sage then. The lone Mercedes. Gonna get the first corner right, drifting a bit wide. Not exactly hasty on putting the power back down. Really careful. Having to cut the corner there, and that results in an invalidation and probably a pit stop. Alright then, our championship leader Apex Turbo has also opted to go out on the medium tire. But just to prepare them, it would seem. Or there might have been damage on his outlap. Everything is possible. Let's see another lone car. This time a Ferrari of Steven. The RS wide open, and he's just started a lap. So let's go on board with him. Really drifting wide in the first corner, somehow not invalid. As the fast laps are really pouring in. Let's see Denja, he's been invalidated, so we'll just follow Steven on his run. Steven not really eager to touch the curbs on either side. I can understand that, they always disturb the balance of the car. And Steven pulls out. Ponto now, for some reason, sticking close behind. I have no idea what he is doing, as they have nearly ground to a stop. Purvis Sage gets disqualified for some reason. What a weird sequence here in the qualifying of this race, as there has been a couple more laps. Zab has managed to go second with 36th lap. And Nichols has managed to set a lap in, albeit not very competitive. As the Williams of Fontenau was doing a whole lot of something earlier. Is coming to the pits. Hello on an out lap. What about Denji then? He seems to have it right. Missing a part of his front wing, but can set a banker lap this time around. Probably not challenging his teammate, who is ahead, by the way, by just 6/1000s, but has to take that grip penalty. Denji can set at 37.5 and goes 6th with it. What's the rump in the Racing Point Getting a bit of a tow from Sabetti, who is also on a lap. From the looks of it, Romp is going faster, setting the fastest time on the second sector. Being really cautious, but I can understand that. It's the early stages, you need to set a lap. Half of the grid hasn't been able to do so, so just setting a lap puts you into the top 10. And Romp to the line with the 136 flat, so our top 3 currently within 6/1000ths of a second. With Sabetti also improving, but still behind by 1.5 tenths. Cam has gone fastest into the 35s with the 35.8. Oh, and Cam clips the front wing of our championship leader Apex. Apex was coming out from the pit. That pit exit in Vietnam is dangerous. It really comes to straight to the racing line. That's really unlucky. What about alluPallu then? Who I believe had his career best finish in league racing last time out. DRS open and it's at 137. Does not improve. Stays 6th. Let's see SJ, who had a tangle with Fontenau earlier on in the session. There's only 6 minutes remaining in the session. Let's see Slimmy actually first, because he's making his way to the last corner. Our Lithuanian driver around the final corner. DRS wide open, and it's a banger of a lap. It's a 35 flat. Nearly a second faster than his adversaries. Really making a statement here. Is the track improving at that kind of rate? Will there be a response from the other drivers? That we will see. As here's SJ now trying to set the first time lap of his session. Really taking it cautiously. Coming to the final corner, it's not going to be a great time, but it might just beat Nichols and Steven. 4 miles off. And does so by a good 12 seconds. And spins in the first corner for good measure, losing parts of his front wing. Let's see. So Slimmy made quite a statement here, as he's not on a time lap anymore. A very good lap into the 34s. Oh, sorry, Cam has gone faster even. 4th lap on the same tires, manages to go just 1 up. Slimmy by a 10th. Very nice lap from him, as Reaper is on a lap now with the soft compound tire. Should improve, and does so in the first sector alone with nearly 8 tenths. Really a wide line through there, seemingly getting a good exit. What can he do? Gets the power down nicely from the hairpin. He's improving by a good second, so from the looks of it should be going somewhere in the P5 to P8. Oh, clips the outside wall, but manages to keep it rolling. And from the looks of it, it seems that it's fast. Let's see. Now heading to the final corner. Reaper Dude 83. DRS wide open. And manages to go 4th with a 35.7. Very nice lap from him. Let's see. Oh yeah, everybody seemingly on an out lap, except for Fonte now. But we gotta remember, he's gotta take that 5-place grid penalty, as he is improving on his time. But will it be enough to go past Slimmy or even Cam with a great lap going into the 34s? Let's see, Fonte now, round the final corner. Will he have it in him? DRS open, it's a good lap. And manages to go second with that lap. Just manages to pass Slimmy, but no luck in trying to pass Cam for the pole. Slimmy also back out again, eager to challenge the guys for the podium positions. Let's see John James first, as he's out on the medium tires, taking it rather cautiously, but seemingly would set a time. Not the most competitive one, but it's good enough for 11 still. Reaper Dude sets a lap, but stays 4th. Genja improves, but stays 9th. Let's see, Sabetti, can he maybe pull out the miracle, as I think the track should be improving. It's improving by 0.2, edging closer to the 35s. Maybe P4, P5 territory. But we'll see how the last sector goes. And coming to the final corners, taking a lot of inside curb there. To the line, manages to go 5th into the 35s. But plenty of drivers still eager to take that away from him. Fonte now has called it quits. He's happy with that lap. Let's see now. Our 3rd place sitter, Slimmy, on what should be his final attempt, is on a quite the pace after the first sector. Gonna get the power down and clips the inside and outside walls. Did that result in damage? Yes, it did. So probably that will be it for him. We'll lose such an amount of downforce in the last sector that shouldn't be able to improve. Let's see Romp, his teammate, then. Will he be able? And Apex Turbo, our championship leader, couldn't set the time and has to start 15th on the grid. As Denja has gone fastest with the 1:34.7. Let's see Romp now. Coming to the final corner, you just simply cannot clip the wall or it's game over for this run. Brakes really early, probably to get the best exit possible. Gets the power down, nearly clips the outside wall, and manages to go 6th on the final attempt. What about Dublade then? He's improving by 1.2 seconds and might just be challenging for P8. No, gets into the top 10s, and that will do it for our qualifying here today. With Denja, sorry that I missed that, but getting the pole. With Cam Edged with him in the first row, Fonte now having that grid penalty that puts Slimmy up in the 3rd, with Reaper Dude in 4th, Romp in 6th, 5th, Sabetti in 7th, Fonte now in 8th, Dab in 9th, Allo in... No. Sorry, my math sucks and I'm tired. Anyways, they will start in an order, which you can see, except Fontenau is dropping. So yeah, plenty of action, and you could see struggling to get the power down in the critical parts of the track. Will that continue to the race? And I'm not gonna predict anything, because basically the driver who can keep their car out of the walls to the for the entirety of the race is probably gonna win here tonight in what should be an easy one-stopper. And there will be safety cars, surely. How many is the question? My bet is 3. 3 safety cars and 1 virtual one. That we will see shortly as the drivers are underway with the formation lap. And now you can see the starting grid with Denja getting the pole, Kamijit following closely behind, Slimmy in 3rd, Reaper in 4th, Romp 5th, Sabetti touches him in the first corner, or the other way around is 6th, Zab in 7th, Fontenau after that Gripinelli in 8th, Allo in 9th, Two-Blade in 10th, Steven in 11th, starting out with the hard compound of tire, interesting choice. Nichols with the medium tires in 12th. SJ also following suit with the mediums is in 13th. John James in hards. Apex Turbo also opting for the hards, and Purvis Sage at the back with the mediums. So the guys who get the free tire choice really going creative with their strategies, as the top 10 expectedly in the softs. So yeah, if our drivers play their cars correctly in a race which should have a plenty of safety cars, they might be able to go one stop. But of course, we gotta keep in mind the low grip in the surface can really result in some slip-ups and the tire wearing faster, as displayed by Rossi. Hello, welcome to Tier 5 stream. Hards are definitely a bad idea in my opinion too, but they aim to go one stop, I bet. Anyway, all that slipping should result in a higher wear rate. As I was driving against Rossi on Thursday, he had nearly, what was it, like 20% less than me when we pitted the exact same time. Yeah, I think so too, because you can really max out your pace in them. Hey, thanks, Mal. Anyway, it's the start here in Vietnam. 4 lights, 5 lights, and they're off. Who will get the best start of those two, as there's a relatively short run down to turn 1. We'll look at the back. An absolute mayhem. Nichols goes round. Apex Turbo now making positions. My scoreboard or the standings are going crazy. There's all sorts of yellow flags and wings flying, but we're still green flag racing. Lots of bumps. I have no idea who's leading, but I believe it's Denja. Oh, and Dublade's going round with with heavy wing damage. No safety cars yet. Sabetti and Nichols come together. Oh man, I'm so glad I chose to spectate the guys at the back, because this is just mental. Steven touching the wall on the straight. John James having to go onto the brakes. But Slimmy has made it past Denja in the opening stages. And also Cam, of course, making 3 positions. Reaper Dude taps the bag of Cam, but Cam somehow makes the corner. Reaper Dude with heavy wing damage has to concede for Romp and probably pit. So lots of action. Romp now trying to challenge Cam Midget straight away, who I think had damage. And the first lap has panned out. We already have 3, 4, 5, 6 guys pitting. Make it 7 with Dewblade. Steven speeds to the pits, and he will be the first penalized driver in the race. Oh, there's a Renault who's had a moment in the last corners. That results in yellow flags, but nothing else. It's gonna have to struggle an entire lap. Steven retires in the pits. That shouldn't bring out the safety car. As it's Slimmy, who displayed very good pace in the qualifying. Probably if it were not for his last attempt touching the wall after the second roundabout, probably would have gone pole. That's a guess. And the gaps are starting to settle here. Our top 4 consisting of the both racing points of Slimmy and Romp, with Denja in between and Zap behind, are starting to pull away. Plenty of mayhem in the first lap, but now that that's over with, I hope we'll keep the racing clean and also in the green. With the flags, of course. Denja now furiously trying to hunt Slimmy for the lead. There's yellow flags in Sector 3. It was the Red Bull of Nichols, I believe. Denja goes fastest with 39.8. Oh my, Steven, I think he went accidentally on the intermediates. And hence retired. Can understand that. John James comes to the pits, so do Purvis H. And the only close gap being our leading pair in Slimmy and Denja. Denja, of course, high up in the championship standings, has a great chance of picking up the lead here. Now, using a lot of ERS and with DRS assistance, will he have enough? Going into the hairpin, Slimmy goes defensive very early on the inside. Denja still furiously looking for that opening, but doesn't go for it just yet. Seemingly getting a better exit in Tier 2. We saw a couple of overtakes here just after the hairpin, after some major slip-ups. Oh, Slimmy struggling with the rear. And Denja charging from behind. Wait for an opening. Oh, Denja has to lift and brake massively going into the last corner, and that's that overtake chance gone. Still in DRS range though. Anything can happen, especially coming onto the long straight. Let's see the battery status. Slimmy has used a lot on his defense, whereas Denja still has saved a lot. Yet again, Denja has to lift up on exit. Oh, and it's lap 4 and Slimmy is already in the charge mode. Let's see, it's all about the exit coming from the second roundabout. Slimmy loses the rear massively, manages to keep it out of the walls, but gives Danger the position now with his teammate lurking closely behind. Really unfortunate, but too heavy on the power and too early. Happens to the best of us, as Slimmy is now down to second place. An Apex Turbo, starting from the back, is now up to P5 on his hards, in his holy loneliness. 10 seconds behind the leaders, might be opting for one stop. Will that be quicker? That we will see. But I think the top 4 in the original strategy with the soft compound tire should go for a 2-stop strategy. How will they cope with traffic? That we will see, but Nichols opts for the pits. Speeds in the process, unfortunately. And that will set him back a bit. With him being the only penalized driver, with the others probably serving their 5-second penalties. Of course, Vietnam not all that big in terms of track limit penalizing. Anyways, at the top, Danja is pulling a gap over Slimmy, with it now being 2.3 seconds. A bit further back, Fonto now. Less than a second from the AlphaTauri of Aero. And I think Aero has moved aside to let him past. Fair play if you're not racing the guy. Or to get DRS and get the pass. Okay then, Aero. Still concedes the place to Fonto now, but he really gives pressure on him. Slimmy has opted for the pits early. Now let's see if there's damage. Yes, there is. That front wing of the Racing Point is getting changed. That will set him back by some. Would seem he will rejoin in 5th place. Yes, he will. Nichols has had a moment in the last sector. And that will be the first virtual safety car of the session. With him being, of course, him being in a very dangerous spot there, so probably a right call to call out the virtual safety car. Our driver's got to be careful now, especially in the low-speed corners, to not pick up a drive-through penalty. With Danger, Rump and Zab probably pitting sometime soon. And would seem like we're close to green flag racing. Danger, race leader, opts for the pit here under the virtual safety car. And the green flags come on almost immediately after that. Let's see if he could gain on it. Now we gotta keep an eye on Slimmy. He's making his way to the latter parts of the first sector. Danger's front wing stays on, so it will be a fast pit stop, and should rejoin ahead of Slimmy with ease. But it was a very close call with Apex, but Denja having now the tire advantage, of course. Apex still trying to challenge him. DRS wide open, goes for a move on the first DRS straight on the whole lap and gets the job done very early. But now the scales will be the other way around, coming to the long DRS straight. Denja with a full battery, Apex also with a near full battery. I think they should be... Oh, it's a safety car because Pervisage has had an accident at nearly the same spot that Nichols had one just 2 laps earlier. It shouldn't shake up the order all that much, but Romp and Zab ahead are gonna get a free pit stop, and for Apex there's a chance now to get some softer rubber under his Alfa Romeo. Romp heading to the pits, as should Zab. Yes, he is. What about Apex then? Is he gonna be our race leader? And stays out, so Apex should have enough time to pick up the race lead. I think no one else should be pitting unless there's a need for repairs. So it will be Apex on the hards and Denja on the mediums to lead the way after the safety car period. Ooh, and Reaper Dude gets that dreadful drive-through penalty. Really unfortunate, that's gonna set him back quite a lot. There still is plenty of people pitting under the safety car. So, 3 retirements after 8 laps of racing, and we've got the first full safety car period. My guess was 3, probably a little over-ambitious. You never know. And SJ being lapped has to stay on the train and will remain a full lap behind. Dublade, on the other hand, has opted for the pits, going for another set of mediums. Front wing stays on, so should stay on the lead lap relatively easily. As we look at the current standings, Apex Turbo, with starting 15th on the grid, is now leading the race on his hard compound tire, and has really a chance to fight for maybe even a podium if he can keep the pace up on the hards against the good as new mediums behind. Should be interesting. So Denja in second, Zap in third, the racing points of Slimmy and Romp in fourth and fifth respectively. Reaper Dude in sixth, but we gotta keep in mind he's gotta serve that drive-through penalty, and that's gonna release Fonto now in seventh, Allo in eighth, Cam in ninth, Sabetti in 10th, John James in 11th, Dublane in 12th, and SJ that 1 lap behind. Ooh, and Allo has contact with Fontenot. I believe they're both Spanish drivers, so the 2 matadores locking horns. With Slimmy, Reaper Dude, Allo and Cam being the only penalized driver, let's see what they got. So Slimmy 5 seconds, Allo and Cam with also that 5 seconds, and Reaper with the drive-through. Some of them should pit, serve the penalty. so Dublade hit the wall and he has to pit yet again. Will that result in the safety car to stay out a while longer? We will see very soon, as the pack is currently very close to the third sector. Oh, Aero having to go defensive. No idea what he was thinking there. Racing like it's the green flag conditions, nearly taking out people in the process. People need to chill while they're driving in line. Or in queue, I should say. As the safety car, from the looks of it, will stay out for another lap. So it will be 18 laps to the finish. Interesting to see if those new mediums will make it to the end. It's gonna be a stretch, definitely. As AWS is offering Apex Turbo a chance to pit on the softs this lap, but I believe he's not gonna. I think he's gonna try and make the drivers behind to burn out their relatively newer and softer rubber to get an advantage, maybe. As Apex is definitely opting for the one stop, and he's in a very good position to do so now that he's got hard tires on and holding the lead. So if he's able to keep most of them behind, he is looking very strong, as he should have the tire advantage at the end. If he's going hard to softs, and Dublade is nearly caught up with the backpack. So it should be back to green flag racing this lap. And there's the notification, Dublade catches up to the pack, and it will be back to green flag racing. An early call at the third sector line. That's good, plenty of time for our drivers to prepare as we follow Apex Turbo, who will restart this race. Well, let's hope that there will not be any more contact on the full course yellow. That's going to result in penalties. So Apex has went very early. Let's see if the game will slow him down. No, it won't. Safety car in the pit lane. Here we go. Back to green flag racing. Denja follows well on the restart. Only 3/10 behind. Getting close already in the first corner. With Zab in third. A bit further back. Denja with a lot more grip. Has a look to the inside. The two drivers going side by side, but Denja having to concede for now at least. Dublade meanwhile with the soft compound of tires challenging John James for 11th. But doesn't really get the exit he would have wanted. As Reaper is now trying to fight Fontenau. Fontenau gets the 3 seconds in the process. And he manages to get the move done. But the long straight is coming up next. And Denja has also made a pass for the lead. Side by side the two drivers go. With Denja having the inside line. Denja breaks a tad later. Puts his nose on the inside. And gets the move done. Denja up into the lead in this Vietnamese Grand Prix, as the drivers are changing positions everywhere. There's been some sort of pile-up in the hairpin. And I believe Fontenot was there yet again, and the 5-second penalty is distributed yet again. Dublade and Fontenot colliding. Dublade missing his end plate, and Fontenot, the both of them. At this rate, our drivers are gonna run out of tires, as Apex has now opted for the pits. And cleverly so, now you'll get it free. What will he pick? It will be medium compound tires, and should be going to the end. Especially now with the safety car period. So a lot of drivers pitting here. Denja now in the lead, Rump second and Zap still in third, with Sabetti in fourth, and Apex on the medium tire gets back out in fifth. It's definitely gonna be a stretch going to the end if you think of Denja and Zab on those medium compound tires, and Sabetti is definitely gonna have to pit again. Will he do it this lap? That we will see shortly. Did Reaper Dude? No, Reaper Dude still has that drive-through to serve. Has to wait until the end of this safety car period, unfortunately. So, a couple more laps off the clock here. Here in Vietnam. To be honest, I kinda expected this. And I'm just one safety car away from my prediction. Only 3 retirees still, which is nice to see. And no one else pits this lap, so after this next lap we should be back again to green flag racing as Denja displaying his drift skills behind the safety car. This will give Denja a chance to preserve his tires. But a full 20 laps, the medium compound tire in Vietnam, I don't think so, pal. But he's definitely gonna be on a rush. If he still wishes to fight for the win, he needs to pull a gap very early. He's got the pace, we've seen it before. And SJ, the lone Renault, still having to stick it behind the in the middle of the pack, being a lapped car. I really hope Codemasters have fixed this with EA to the next game, that the lapped cars may overtake on the straights. Safety car should slow down the rest of the pack to get everyone on the lead lap. And there's the notification we all been waiting for. Once Denja goes, it will be back to green flag racing again. So let's see now how Denja will handle the restart. Apex handled it rather well. He put the power down at the right time once the safety car went into the pits. Denja has to be careful not to go too early, as the safety car is only one corner ahead. Entering the pits now. I think Denja has went. Oh, Apex collides with Slimy, and there's a 5-second penalty for him. That might be huge going to the end. As Denja has now went. Romp falling off a good 7/10. Zap even more. Oh, and SJ in the middle of it. Has to now let people by in blue flag conditions. Apex trying to catch Sabetti. But yeah, everyone's went, and Romp seems to stick close behind with that annoying engine clutch. Let's see which of our drivers gets the better exit. From the looks of it, it's Denja. No DRS directly after the safety car period, of course. With the gap now being 8/10. And Romp being nowhere near to get a challenge. Slimy has pitted for the medium compound tire. Did he have a penalty? If he did, probably served it. A lot behind the pack though, so let's see if that prediction of mine will come to life. Oh, and there's a Renault of SJ in the wall. Will that result in the third safety car of the race? From the looks of it, it's no. It's back to green flag until SJ retires. From the looks of it, out of frustration, Reaper Dude comes in to serve his drive-through. Will we seriously survive from that without a safety car? It would certainly look so, as Romp has fallen a bit off Denja's pace. And Apex Turbo now trying to catch Sabetti on those very worn softs, or at least they should be. 6 laps on the softs, albeit behind the safety car is a lot. Apex Turbo using a lot of ERS on the straight. DRS will be available next lap. Sabetti goes for a move on Zap to the inside. And from the looks of it, has it done. Zap goes for the switchback and manages to get his position back, albeit tapping the front left tire of Sabetti a bit. But some really nice fighting going on here, with the threat of Apex Turbo looming very closely behind. Sabetti out of ERS, whereas Apex is not. DRS will come alive this lap. So a close fight here for the final podium positions, involving 4 cars now that Fontana's catched back up. DRS open. Let's see, Sabetti fell a bit behind Zap, but is now with the DRS able to get it back. Oh, and Denja has spun from the lead! Does he have damage on his aim? No, he does not, but he's down to 6. There's another car round. There's all sorts of mayhem going. Allo has retired sideways on the track. And I believe he had contact with Cam because Dublé has got him past the lot of them. And Zab missing the braking in the hairpin and has now fallen into the 7th. Crazy days here in Tier 5. Romp now having the race lead and is looking good with a 2.3 second gap. Apex still trying to catch Zabetti. With Fonter now closely behind. Ooh, Zabetti nearly tapping the wall there. With the start-finish straight not really being the overtaking spot, but definitely Apex Turbo is able to get close. And those softs of Zabetti must be screaming in agony right now. And Apex should be able to get this move done. Opting around the outside, but it's already passed behind before the corner even. Zabetti forms in behind of the championship leader. And Apex now with the tire advantage, chasing Rom for the lead. Zabetti has a look to the inside, but thinks otherwise in the end. We'll see if DRS will provide some more major moments. With the cars going around 320 kilometers per hour. Zabetti gets in close, but doesn't think for a move. Denja nearly misses his braking point, and actually does. Now misses an end plate. Very strong contender for the win. Has bottled it in the second roundabout, and now has damage to his name down in P5, sorry. But let's see where this train will lead us to. Zabetti still staying out. 8 laps on those softs. Really cautiously around the last corner, DRS open. Fonte now behind, but having DRS nullifies DRS behind. Romp still upholding the gap. Nearly 2 seconds. Fonte now has a look to the inside. Whoa, and dives for the gap. But no space there around the Finnish driver. And that pass has to wait for another day. With both Hases and Reproduce the only cars on softs. Zabetti displaying his drift skills, not the fastest style to go around the track with an F1 car. Fonte now with an empty battery has gotten past Zabetti, but Zabetti has the DRS advantage and some battery still, and should be able to get his position back. All of the drivers really exchanging positions, as Zab has gone for a move past Dublade. In the hairpin, manages to do so. P6 for the Ukrainian driver. With these two definitely going at it too. Dublade, of course, having the tire advantage. But 5 laps in those softs in Vietnam is definitely, or should definitely, have a feel to it, as Denja has now pitted from P5 to probably a set of softs maybe, and a new front wing, I presume. So has John James. Yeah, let's focus on the action on track, as Dublade still on the DRS range of Zab, but let's see Fontenau's challenge first. With a near empty battery, going for the outside brakes a tad later, but doesn't quite have the gap. Taps the back of Zabetti there. That was very naughty from the Spanish driver. Zabetti has more battery than Fontenau, so Zabetti should be able to get his position back here. Let's see. Zabetti now opting for the inside and should have the move done. And does. With Zabetti, of course, should have to pit. Dublade has managed to go past Zab into the hairpin. Sorry that I missed that. Very nice. Finnish driver able to go past the Ukrainian. Fighting the rear on the house. Of course, with the equal performance, not as hard to drive as the real life version. With Cam now joining in on the fun. Let's see, Fontenaun yet again coming to the DRS straight. Will he have enough for the challenge? And the answer is not yet, but there will be another DRS zone directly after this. Apex, a bit further ahead. Is in the range of DRS, but doesn't seem to quite get it yet, as he was behind on detection zone. But should have one going to the long back straight. Will we see a change in the lead? Romp with the 11 lap old hard tires. Apex with mediums with plenty of life in them, which can go to the end. DRS open, and that should just add insult to injury to the fact that Apex Turbo inherits the lead of the Vietnamese Grand Prix from 15th on the grid, looking very strong to finish. Maybe on the top step of the podium. Romp comes back at him from the outside, locks the tire a bit, makes the corner, and gets his first place back. Amazing battle for first here, with Apex having to concede in round one. Meanwhile, Fontenau has got past Sabetti, who should have to pit very soon, with significant wear, and now he will pit. That will really dublate into P4. At least momentarily, but you can see dublate tires too, that they have significant wear in them. There's plenty of others pitting too. Cam from 7th and Reaper from 8th are pitting. That will allow Denja back a bit further ahead. So yeah, let's see if we will see a round 2 between these two. Gap being just over a second, but let's see. The exit is really everything in this. And Romp prevails this time. No DRS for Apex. So the positions should stay the same for now. It's gonna be interesting if Zap wishes to go to the end on those mediums. 12 laps in them already. Then you need to make another 6. Yes, 6.5. I think he just might try, because what he got to lose? 11 seconds behind. Of course, Sabetti with the new softs is gonna push like hell, but so yeah, we should see Dublate pitting with those significantly worn soft tires, and yes, we will. Another short stint for the Finnish driver in the house, and that allows Zap past him. It should allow Sabetti too. So Dublate should rejoin around P7, P8. Anyways, we turn our attention back to the front, where Apex is still trying to get into the DRS of Romp, but the tire wear probably is kicking in for the both of them. Let's see the penalties real quick. Apex having that 5 seconds, which probably can be removed. Apex now having the DRS too far back. Probably won't be able to make the move, but it's coming. Unless there's another mistake. Fontenau with 3 seconds, which he is gonna have to suffer. So is Dublate behind. Well, let's see Rump being very quick on the third sector, pulling a gap on the hard compound tire against the mediums. I want to see the pit. I'm on the pit stop. So 5 pit stops for Doublade and still out in P8. That's amazing. And Zab has now pitted. Where will he rejoin? He should be going to the new set of softs. Sorry. Let's see if Doublade is gonna be able to get back past him. He was ahead of him when he pitted Zab. I think he was serving a penalty, or maybe he forgot to press the throttle. No idea. But from the looks of it, into P8. John James is momentarily ahead, but since the pit exit basically just cuts 1.5 corners, is quite comfortably ahead of John James. And now, sorry that I missed that, but Apex Turbo has gone for the move and got to the lead of a Rump into the hairpin. But is the tire wear kicking in? Still 5 laps to go. Anything can happen. A bit of a mistake there. A bit of a slide there. They can all accumulate the already heavy tire wear our drivers here ahead should have by now. No idea what happened there, but Rump's gone round in the last corner and has now fallen behind Ponto now. Is he having a puncture? No. A weird sequence there in the last corner as Apex Turbo seemed to slow down. And Rump spun. Luckily no damage for the Racing Point driver. He's able to continue in third. Still unfortunate, he looks set to win here tonight. But Apex Turbo is the Cinderella story here. The championship leader, starting from 15th on the grid after a very unlucky qualifying session. Looks to be set to win here in Vietnam unless something very dramatic happens. Of course, what is the state of those medium tires? You can see somewhere on the edges of the front tires. And still 5 laps to go. Will he be risking a puncture here? Remains to be seen as Zab has gained in on Doublade. DRS open, Doublade on recharge mode. Whereas Zab has still battery to attack with. So these two drivers going for a round 2 with Doublade prevailing the first time. Doublade goes a bit wide. That allows Zab very close. But yeah, no passes being made in the third sector. Zab gets very close though, and he's gonna have the DRS advantage. It's all about the exit. Doublade gets a hell of a better exit than Zab, and is able to retain his position to the first corners. But let's see, after the first roundabout, that exit is a tricky one too. Oh, and Zab getting the better one. DRS open. And Reaper Dude has called it quits after the first roundabout. And that results in the third safety car. My prediction was correct. Now let's see if the leaders will opt for the pits. It will be a freebie. At least Apex should rejoin ahead of Sabetti. I probably should pit, as you can see the wear already. Damn, I should have betted money for my prediction. Yeah, and into the pit comes Apex. What about Fontenot then? In second place. He does so too. And Fontenot gets a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. And Romp, having still that very annoying engine glitch, stays out. It's gonna risk it with the old hards against the new softs. Oh, it will be exciting to see Kamadenja up for the pits as well. That's probably his dual blade. No, he isn't actually. So yeah, this is gonna change everything. Everyone gets their penalties served, apart from the guys who have 3 seconds. And them you can see right here. So yeah, Fontenot can, Fontenot, Dublade, Denja and John James have to serve that 3 seconds at the finish line. So a very late safety car that will eat everyone's gaps. Let's see, when will the safety car come back in? As there will be only 2 laps of racing left once the safety car crosses the line, so it might have been a good choice for Romp to stay out. Even though against the newer softs, it's gonna be hard. Yeah, and yes, the safety car will be in this lap. So all the play for Romp is probably hoping for his life that the safety car just goes out of the way. And they'll get the racing restarted. Romp going very deep with his restart. The safety car is in the pit lane. Whoa, and Romp with probably some very cold rear tires has a bit of a moment. He's up. And so is everyone else. So Sabetti now in second with the softs. Currently looking the strongest of the soft runners. Of course, 5 laps in them already. How much will that slow him down? And what will happen when they try to make the challenge on Romp? The first actual overtaking spot. Here we go. So Romp on the Warren Hards is trying to keep Sabetti behind. Sabetti using all of his ERS. Brakes later than him. Pushes him a bit wide. They go 3 wide in the roundabout. With Sabetti steamingly edging out. Romp holding tightly to the second position. Apex Turbo has his wing pieces lost. With Fonto now inheriting the 3rd position. Cam following closely behind. Dublade in 5th. All to play for as the next time round will be their final lap of this Vietnamese Grand Prix. Dublade goes very late on the brakes, as he's able to keep his ass on the road. Apex Turbo coming for a challenge around the outside for 5th, and seems to have got it done. So yeah, Romp may serve Sabetti the win here, as he's really holding the guys on the new softs. Fontenot goes for a brilliant move around the outside. And back into P2 they go. Merely fractions of the battery left. Sabetti with 60% going to the final lap. Fontenot with 20. Romp still holding on to the 3rd place, with Cam very close behind. And wounded Alfa Romeo of Apexes behind him. Fontenot already going for a challenge, and it has started to rain. What has What is going on here? Sabeti holding the lead. As we're on the final lap in the Hanoi Grand Prix, where it has started to rain. Apex Turbo going for a challenge on Cam. Going up to the P4. Doublade gets another 3-second penalty. That's very unfortunate. As now the straight line speed will solve it all. Fonte now in recharge mode. Romp going around the outside on the worn hards. Sabeti also out of battery. These drivers are literally taking everything out of their machinery. Ponta now going around the outside and seemingly retaining his P2. There's contact at the back. Doublade and Camage is going ahead, but Doublade, being the good guy he is, lets Cam back past. Apex Turbo, without any battery, is trying to get past Romp on the final corners. I mean, of course, Fonte now is going to drop back because of that 3-second penalty, and Sabet is probably going to pick up the win. But what will happen? Fonte now goes for a dive on the last corner, so his Apex on the outside. Romp squeezes, goes round. Denja up in the P3, but has the penalty. What a wild finish to this race. Oh my days. And Romp is probably gonna report. Well, it was his fault. He was squeezing Apex to the wall. And it ended up sideways all by himself. Luckily, ghosting was on. And that will conclude what was a crazy Vietnamese Grand Prix. Apex Turbo deservedly gets that Codemasters Driver of the Day nomination. From 15th on the grid to a podium in the end after that unfortunate contact with Romp, and we will see a lot of discussion after that. But Sabeti, our Finnish driver, picks up a famous win in his Haas. So even though Fontenau had that 3 seconds, that mayhem at the back allowed him to finish P2 behind Sabeti, our race winner. Apex Turbo, what a race, from 15th on the grid, gets the 3rd place. Cam, after a strong performance, finishes P4. Denja, on track, I think he was on the podium, but due to that penalty he drops back a bit. Zap 6th, Romp. Oh jeez, this guy looked set to win multiple times. And all of the dreams were crushed before the last corner. With Doublade finishing 8th on penalties. John James behind of him. Slimmy gets 2 points. One from finishing 10th and one from the fastest lap. And that will do it for the Absolute Madness. Wow. So, as we wind down from the excitement of that, next time round we will be still in Asia. It will be the Shanghai circuit in China. So only 3 races left. And I think Fontenau inherits the championship lead. No, actually he's gonna be tied with Apex. But wow. That was a race and a half. Anyways, always a pleasure with Tier 5. Always a pleasure to stream for you guys. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. My name is alluPallu. And we will see you in 1 week in China. Good night.